Hello, it's Gab and Dad.
Hello.
Hello, I'm back from Nova Scotia and we're here to review the worst movies of the summer. We've already done the best, take a look at our pick of the best, but now we're doing the worst. And there's much more to pick from than there is when it comes to choosing the best.
We've each got our top or bottom three picks.
Bottom three. So we'll start with the third from the bottom. And why don't you tell us, we haven't discussed this ahead of time by the way, so why don't you tell us what is your third worst movie of the summer?
My third worst movie of the summer. This was really hard, like cutting off at number three. Can we do honorable mentions?
No.
My third worst movie of the summer is Transformers 2, Revenge of the Fallen. And I know you're looking
That's
at...
your third
I know. I think you're giving away your number one.
Right.
That's my third.
Try to stay calm. Try to stay calm. I know, it's kind of overwhelming. The end.
I don't know what to say. I've tried not to even think about this movie since we saw it, so I'm remembering it was too long, it was too bombastic, noise and sound, visually too much, too fast. I mean, all the money that was thrown on the screen for the effects. No plot whatsoever. And too long and just this and that. Now, I was a fan of the first one. I'm not trying to be a snob here. I really liked the first one. Well, I am a snob, but I'm not trying to be one right now. So I was disappointed. I was looking forward to more of what I really enjoyed in the first one. But they just went way too overboard. They got completely off the point. I didn't enjoy any of it. And we got a lot of flack for criticizing this movie. This is what a summer movie's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be smart. It's supposed to be explosions, and you're just supposed to have fun with it. I have two words to say to you. Star Trek. A summer blockbuster action film can still be smart and have characters you care about.
And what about District 9, which is our pick?
Well, and of course,
I mean, that's in some ways a kind of a blockbuster sci-fi,
It didn't have the budget, though. I mean, if you want to compare budgets and all that.
All right,
so,
I want to say what my third worst movie is now.
Number three for me, Transformers.
Transformers. Number three for me is X-Men Origins Wolverine. A bad film, not as bad as my number two and number one, and I'll talk about it in a minute, but a bad film, contrived, dull, a plot that was nonsensical, just kind of a dumb film. And I think it disappeared from the box office pretty quickly, didn't it?
It was one of those ones that had a really big first weekend, but it was I think it's number 7 for the whole summer box office.
Well, okay.
And there's going to be a sequel.
Oh God, I can hardly wait. Not a movie I enjoyed, ho-hum, boring, and just the guy who had the steel blades that shot out from his knuckles. Wolverine didn't save it for me, so that was my number three.
Well, that was an honorable mention for me. I had a bit of trouble, but I enjoyed it more than you did. But you weren't a fan of X-Men and all that to begin with, which is a bit of a problem, but...
Well, it's not. It's a problem. It's a problem for them, not for me. All right, so that's number three. We have a Transformers here. And we have an X-Men Origins Wolverine here.
For those of you keeping track at home.
Write it down. Check it off on your pad. Number two, second worst movie of the summer.
I think we might agree on this one. My number 2 worst movie of the summer was Angels and Demons.
Yes, mine too.
I knew that was going to...
Yes.
Okay, so... all you really need to do is watch our original review of Angels and Demons, which again we got some hot water for some people who disagreed with us. I don't really have anything to say other than what I said in that review.
Me neither.
It was dumb.
It was boring.
It was I didn't give a hoot about the characters or what was going on. It wasn't just that it was dumb. Everything that went on either A, didn't make sense, or B, was dumb.
Yeah.
It was either too obvious. Well, yeah, or a combination. Yeah. So you're either like, huh? Or you're like, duh. I mean, it was just...
And also, using one of my touchstones for movie reviews, entirely predictable. As we say in the separate review we did of it, 5 minutes into the film, you know who the bad guy is.
Yeah.
And so there's no tension.
It just wasn't smart. A movie like that should be a bit smarter than that, and Tom Hanks was very bland, and the directing was blah. Some nice scenery.
Well, there's nice shots of Rome, but generally from a very fast-moving car, and it was never clear why the car was going fast, where it was going to, and what the whole...
Because it's a chase.
All right, so we agree on that. Angels and Demons, second worst film of the summer. And now, the tension's mounting, and now, the worst movie of the summer.
You know what your number one is.
No, I haven't said what it is yet. What's your number one? Worst movie of the summer.
Well,
wait for it, here it comes, go.
Can I talk now?
Yes.
The reason my number one is not, you thought it would be Transformers, my number one is a movie that you didn't get to see, you lucky dog.
Well, wait a minute, that's not fair.
Well, no, but I reviewed it with
Okay,
Max.
okay.
It has been featured on Gab and Dad, and my number one worst movie of the summer, for me, was Land of the Lost.
Oh, yeah.
I hate this movie. In our best of
But
the
do you
summer,
like it?
but I like it. In our best of the summer, I made the point that largely what I think about a film after I've seen it is to do with how it stays with me or not. It's not just how I feel when I leave the theater. It's what I think the next day, the next month, whatever. This is
It's
the
like
film.
gastric reflux. It stays
Exactly. It's like digestive issues. This film, from the moment I saw it, I have detested, and whenever I think about it, which I try not to, I just detest it more. The plot was ridiculous. The effects were meaningless. The performances
Did
were
Max like it?
terrible.
He gave it 10 stars.
This is me. Max gives everything 10 stars. It made no sense whatsoever. It wasn't funny. It wasn't exciting. And I was offended. This is a separate issue, but what really sticks with me with this film is how it was marketed as a family film, and it was very unfamily friendly. I brought my son Max, who at the time was 6. Now, I take responsibility as a parent for making a bad decision there. But they knew what they were doing and how they marketed this. And I fell victim to it.
Right.
There is bad language, there is sex,
Okay.
there is drugs, and I was so
we have to
offended.
wrap
I
this up.
spent money and took my family to this.
She was offended. We have to wrap this up. Yeah, that's
I
enough.
hated it.
Cut.
Hated it.
She hated it. And my worst movie of the summer, and I'm just really going to tell you the name and that's it, was Transformers 2, 3, God, whatever it was. A terrible movie. Watch our review. This is real caca. I know everybody. Was it the best? No, was it number one?
It was the number one
Number
grossing
one.
movie
I don't know
of the
what
summer.
to say about that. So there it is. Our
Well,
worst
why'd
movie.
you hate it? You compared it, you'd rather have major surgery.
I'd rather have dental surgery. It was boring, dull, pointless, noisy, stupid. You know, it was a ripoff. You've probably seen it already, folks, and you may have liked it. But goodbye. No?
Well, before goodbye, just check out all our reviews that Gab and Dad did of all these films,
Yeah.
all the ones we mentioned in our worst and also in our best video. Please watch our best. Have all been reviewed by Gab and Dad, so check out our original thoughts and onwards into the fall season. Thanks
Yeah.
everybody for watching
That's
us
right.
this summer.
Watch for our next set of reviews coming soon.